Hello guys, NautoAis here, and this will be a follow-up on my Xbox Showcase thoughts. And of course, in that video, they revealed that Gears of War, E-Day, and Clockwork will be an Xbox exclusive. That means it won't be on PlayStation 5 at least. It'll be on PC. I don't know, Steam, could be just Windows. So the bottom line is that Asha Sharma is trying to bring back exclusive for the Xbox. And yes, so people are wondering, not following the situation, why did Microsoft end up porting those first party games on other console? Well, because not a lot of people were buying Xbox console, believe it or not. Even though I bought one for myself, not a lot of people do. So when Phil Spencer still in charge, his regime, remember, his motto was play anywhere. That's why Game Pass is, that you can play Game Pass whether on an Xbox console, PC, mobile phone, Amazon TV. That was his whole thing. He invented Game Pass, and that Sarah Bond actually supported him. And from what I understand, a lot of people think that Sarah Bond got the idea of playing it anywhere. For me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I like that idea for Xbox. If they do it on PlayStation, well, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I know I sound biased, but like I said before, I'm a PlayStation supporter, so I like what's best for PlayStation. That's just me. And yes, I sound like an ass for doing that, but you get the point. So back to the topic. Like I said, Gears of War, E-Day, and Clockwork is going to be Xbox exclusive. And apparently, more games are going to be exclusive, but it's going to be a case-by-case basis. So what they're saying is, if it's multiplayer, they might consider making it multi-platform, but it's a robust single player, then it will be an Xbox exclusive. It is what it is there. The bottom line is what Asha Sharma doing in her regime, they're trying to go 180 to what Phil Spencer did. So trying to fix what's Phil Spencer's mistake. But here's the funny pattern. Did you know in the beginning, Phil Spencer saved Xbox? People don't even understand that he actually saved Xbox in 2013, 2014. When Don Matrix left with his golden parachute, his objective was an all-in-one entertainment box. That's why Xbox One. Not only you can play games, you can watch TV, sports. Heck, it even has multi-HDMI ports, so you can connect like a Roku or VCR, whatever, and you go through a Xbox. I tried it. I mean, it's an extra HDMI port, but in the long run, it's just like, I don't know, didn't really work. And that he's also championing that you need a Kinect to experience Xbox One. Unfortunately, that didn't work because you had to make the set higher. That's why it's like, I think it was $500 versus PlayStation 4 was $400. And most people didn't want the Kinect. And that's when Phil Spencer took over. He made the Kinect option. And that's the idea of, I keep saying on Twitter, option is good because that's what Phil Spencer said. The removal of the Kinect for the Xbox One was, option is good, let consumer have option whether they want to Kinect or not. It is what it is there. So he was doing good in the beginning, but then somewhere down the line, I guess something went wrong and screwed up. He created Game Pass. The idea of variety games in a Netflix subscription for the casual. It kind of makes sense to some extent, but if you're hardcore, you're probably not going to do that because you want to own your game. Of course, remember somebody from Ubisoft said, get used to not owning your game. And then, of course, most of the hardcore gamer are, well, they don't like that. So what Phil Spencer is doing, he was favoring the casual, the hardcore refuse. That's why most hardcore refuse to do Game Pass. I did Game Pass once in a while. It's not that bad. But the problem really is time. I mean, so much game, not enough time. I'm even having problem with Netflix because there's too many movies I want to watch, but you can only choose because of time. Do I want to watch or do I want to play? That's the thing, sort of the weakness for Game Pass. And then the idea of Game Pass anywhere from Amazon Fire TV, mobile phone, streaming, whatever, unless you have to have a Game Pass subscription. Again, most hardcore doesn't like that. And then him buying a lot of studio acquisition, using Microsoft pop-up money. He was like a spoiled kid, no offense to Phil Spencer, buying acquisition, but hopefully to build the Microsoft lineup. That's the whole point. But to some extent, it didn't really work. It backfired to a point that they had to shut down some studio. And they talk about it. Arcane got shut down. Tango Gameworks. And oh boy. So again, Phil Spencer, in the long run, didn't do a job. That's why now with Asha Sharma, she's trying to fix what Phil Spencer's mistake. Going back to the exclusive. Trying to readjust Game Pass. Getting rid of Call of Duty and Game Pass. Not having, there's going to be still day one pass, so that's the premium one, but it's going to be now cheaper But I think in the long run, they probably just want to get rid of Game Pass. I mean, I don't know. If you remove it, the casual will say, "Why did you do it? I like it." I don't, like they can't win. I mean, Phil Spencer made his bed, and unfortunately, that bed got stuck because even so, he was ousted along with Sarah Bond. You can't really get rid of Game Pass to some extent. So again, it is what it is there. So back to the exclusivity deal with what Asha Sharma doing in her regime. Is it a good thing? Well, it depends. It's apparently the report that Gears of War E-Day cost $400 million budget just to make that game. So if that's a lot, probably for what, $69.99, $70, and you're gonna make it an Xbox exclusive. Yeah, no offense, but good luck with that because to some extent the damage was done. Most general consumer, when they see Microsoft game, they think multi-platform, which again it is weird, but it was a point where Phil Spencer, which is desperate, they're just trying to find ways to make money. Shareholders not happy. So are you gonna able to make the return? You're gonna make that an Xbox exclusive? In my opinion, probably not. It's the same situation with Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. They didn't make the money because it thought, oh, PlayStation exclusive, going to make the money because Final Fantasy and PlayStation worked hand to hand. I mean, it might work in the 32-bit era, in the PS2 era, not so much with the PS3. For people don't know, Final Fantasy 13 was multi-platform, 15 was multi-platform, 14 now became multi-platform. I know, granted, in the beginning was PC and PlayStation, but that's a different story. It's an MMO. Like 15 and 13 was multi-platform from the get-go. People were pissed that Final Fantasy 13 went to the Xbox, but why they said that if they didn't do it, they're not going to make any money. Devil May Cry 4 went multi-platform from a PS2 exclusive. PlayStation fans were pissed and they said, well, we got to make money. You want more people. That's what it is. The only time an exclusive sort of justify is in the case with Bayonetta Street Fighter because it was the hardware company, they're funding the game. If it wasn't for them, they probably wouldn't exist. Remember, for a while, Capcom couldn't even make games. That's why they had to enlist Sony to do Street Fighter V. Bayonetta 2, Sega wouldn't do it, so Nintendo stepped up. Yeah, it's kind of shit, but what can you do? It is what it is there. So that's when exclusive, whether you like it or not, it's good. Because if not, the game wouldn't exist. Just saying that. So I don't know what's going to happen with Gears of War E-Day for a $400 million budget, and they want to return at the same time being an Xbox exclusive. I have a feeling that it's not going to be an Xbox exclusive for long. Like in 2027, they're going to say, you know what? Yeah, we can't make this exclusive. We're going to put it in a PlayStation 5. And then you're going to have those Xbox fans going to be like pissed off. Kind of like the Resident Evil during the PS2 era when Shinji Mikami made Resident Evil 4 a GameCube exclusive. And the gist of it is, it was sort of a egotistic personality. He's trying to prove to the world that my game is so good that people will buy GameCube for Resident Evil 4, which they kind of did. And then Capcom, I think, within a month later said, yeah, I mean, we're stupid for doing that. We want more people to play Resident Evil 4. That's why it was going to go to the PS2. Granted, it was like the window was like years apart, believe it or not, and the PS2 version run like crap. Of course, now they're being allowed to remastered and play it on the PS4, so my showcase, hard game. And then, of course, now you got Resident Evil 4 Remake, got it for $20. I know, and that was multi-platform. What can you say? The bottom line is that exclusive is sort of important in first-party games. That's why. They tried it, making it multi-platform, it didn't work. In the case with Sony, putting it on PC, not a lot of people are buying it because it's like they're not even day-to-day, and to some extent, most people are buying it on PlayStation 5. In the case with Xbox, to some extent, most of the games were actually selling better on PlayStation, but the trade-off was nobody was buying Xbox, and what do you expect? They're not making their return on the console to a point that that's why they forced to make it Xbox exclusive, because Asha Sharma even did some stupid shit, such as pulling the trailer from the State of Play, apparently, and Gears of War E-Day was originally with PS5. I mean, proved in the video, and they private it, but that was still with the Phil Spencer regime. When Asha Sharma took over, she basically did some sort of executive order, saying, no, this game is exclusive, that game is exclusive. And apparently there was even a report that she wanted Fable and Halo Campaign Evolved to be Xbox exclusive, but due to the contract, they couldn't really do it. And then there's even a report that, what Asha Sharma did kind of broke relationship with PlayStation. See, that sounds stupid, whoever wrote that, because that doesn't even make sense. It's kind of weird. Maybe for Phil Spencer, because he's just, he's trying to be buddy-buddy. But to some extent, that sounds weird. Oh, Xbox and PlayStation relationship are now diminishing. They're competitor. That doesn't make sense. That's like saying Tony Khan and Triple H talking about wrestling and making kumbaya. I mean, they probably behind the scene, but in the public place, I don't think so. That's gonna be weird, but you get the point there. So that was kind of weird. Like, oh, they hurt their relationship with PlayStation. Like, their competitor. That doesn't make sense. It's weird, but whatever. There. So back to exclusivity. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I don't think it's a good idea. As a PlayStation supporter, I know I sound like a biased a-hole, but it is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if they're gonna try to stick with the gun with the exclusivity. I mean, yeah, Phil Spencer kind of damaged the image for that one. And like I said, we're just trying to find ways to make money, and to some extent, that was it. Like, probably the shareholder was like pissing at him, so he did what he needed to do. It's kind of like the Wii U with Iwata. He's doing whatever it takes to make money. Amiibo, ambassador, partner, YouTube program to some extent, content ID and Nintendo products on videos, because they're just trying to find a way to make money. And the same goes with the situation with now with the Xbox. So we'll see what happens with Asha Sharma did. Again, exclusive, I don't really agree with it, but we gotta do what we gotta do for the business. And let's just see that hopefully this Xbox exclusive for Gears of War E-Day, that at a budget for $100 million, hopefully they get the returns for what, $70. And if they don't, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. And then in the long run, they're probably gonna say 2027. Oh yeah, Gears of War E-Day, yeah, we're gonna have to put it on PlayStation now. I don't know. We'll just see, because, like I said, some Xbox games sold better on PlayStation. Apparently, Sea of Steve basically better on PlayStation 5. I think certain Xbox game plays better on PlayStation 5. Hi-Fi Rush, I think, is another one too. I mean, I haven't keep up any Xbox game, but it is what it is. So before I close this, I want to also add this one. There's also a report of a Microsoft trying to spin off some of their Xbox intellect property. So if people don't know what that is, what people are saying is that apparently that Microsoft push to shove might separate from Xbox Studio, probably become independent or whatever. And there's even report that they even might consider each franchise IP, they're going to consider selling it to certain people. Good thing, bad thing, well, Microsoft is just trying to figure out how to make money, and if they have to cut back and, well, become small to make it like an affordable budget, then they got to do what they got to do. Like, if that case happened, for me personally, I want Microsoft to sell off Spyro and Crash back to Sony at the same time with Rare, sell it back to Nintendo. That would be awesome, but we'll just have to wait and see there. And of course, another thing also that what screwed Microsoft and Xbox, I forgot to mention it, is the Activision Blizzard Inquisition. So, like I said, they were bought. Phil Spencer was buying a lot of acquisition. Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Compulsion. There are a lot of them, like it's a Tango Gamer, Bethesda, and the biggest one I did talk about before was Activision Blizzard. Apparently, that's what screwed Microsoft because of the acquisition. But the thing is, this is something that's a little bit tricky because it is a catch-22 for people who don't know. Okay, if Microsoft did not buy Activision Blizzard, then Bobby No Dick's going to be still in control. The guy's an asshole. The guy doesn't give a shit about employees, and they're going to treat him like just a bunch of tools. And then how he's going to treat with the women. And of course, if you heard the story, apparently some people in Activision Blizzard, they're treating women with no respect. I mean, I don't know. That's why for me, I supported the idea of Phil Spencer buying Activision Blizzard, not because it'll make Xbox Studio better. It was more of to get rid of the a-hole. That's all I'm just saying. But apparently it didn't really work, and that's what's happening here. Just want to add that too. So anyway, those are my thoughts about the file for the Xbox Showcase exclusive thing. For me personally, I don't think it's a good idea. But we'll just have to wait and see. For $100 million budget for Gears of War E-Day, that'll be funny. And hopefully Xbox Studio can go back again. But apparently, like I said, another thing is that Asha Sharma even said that producing Xbox for them now is tricky due to a very expensive component. Because of course, the reason why they raised the price, a lot of components the price are raising, skyrocketing. especially the AI thing. That was the story about it. The bottom line, the component was just very expensive, so they got to option somewhere. That's the thing. I mean, it's a very pandemic thing, but it is what it is there. And as for spinning it off, hey, like I said, it's Power and Crash. Sell it to Sony, Rare, sell it to Nintendo, and then everyone's gonna be happy. Just saying that. Anyway, with that, I'll see you guys later.